Aval b'shoshan hu lehepech. But in their source, it's the opposite. The sham ha'osios gavoa yoser chulu, that there, the letters are higher. Bekach nisbor lekaman al pasav yoidabe Moshe el rashi amatos chulu. Binyin domim someachai. And that's how it's explained later on in the verse, on the verse that Moshe spoke to the heads of the tribes concerning the inanimate plant and the animal. And the concept is, as Shapir, it goes well, Alpi ma shekos varamaz rish Parshas Vayikra, according to what the Ramaz explains in the beginning of Vayikra, the shoresh ha'osios nimshachim min bechinas avira, that the root of the letters are drawn from the concept of the air, shelamayla mimo chastima, the air that's in the brain, above the concept of the hidden wisdom. So you have the concept of the skull, and you have the concept of the brain, and in between is the kroma, the avira. You have this membrane of air in between. So, like we said, that the keser is higher than chokhmah, and that's the source of the osios. So too in the hidden wisdom itself, within keser, it's higher than mochastima. So we'll look what it's brought about in the drush of mezuzah on the right side, v'ner chanaka mismal, v'ner chanaka on the left side. It's like he brings also. This is also brought in derech mitzvosecha, where he brings the concept of avir is or yud, the concept of the light of the Chanukah candle. Ubedibur hamaschil reach shemanach hatovim. So the concept of oil also being hidden wisdom, and the reach is spiced oil. It's an even higher level of the keser. And if so, it's even higher. It's higher than the root of wisdom. That the root of chachma is from the hidden wisdom of arich. Shuhu chachma shebekeser. V'gam ze al yidei mezolos v'sairos. That's the chachma within keser, and also it doesn't come directly from ochastimah, but it's through the concept of mazolos, the yud gimel tikkunei dikna, the concept of notzer and nakeh, the cyrus, and the concept of hairs, like the hairs of the beard, that it's a tremendous contraction from where it's coming from, which is the concept of cyrus. But letters, their root is in the concept of the air, that's higher than the hidden wisdom. And similarly, in the growth, the plant and the animal, the afal gav de lamata chai gavoa yosef matzomeach, that even though below you have the animal is higher than the plant life. So too the intellect that's called chai, hu gavoa mihamidos, is higher than the emotional attributes shenikrat someach, that are called the growth and the plant life. Mikol makom harei b'shorshon hazer anpin gavoa yoser mechochmo bina. Nonetheless, zer anpin is rooted higher then Chachma Bina Kidei Isa Be'idrazut Adaf Reish Tzadik Beis Abba V'Ima Iskalilu B'Mazla, that it says in the Idrazuta that the mother and father, parts of Abba and Ima, are included within the Mazal, Ubei Talyan, Ubei Achidan, and in it and from it they hang, and in it are they united. Zer Anpin Be'atika Achid V'Talya. But Zir Ampin is dependent upon and united with Atik, and not just Mazel. That Mazel is being a lower level within Keser. And so the Arizal explains there in the Idra that the parts of Abba and Ima are get their flow from the wisdom within Keser, the Chachma, Haidei Mazla canal, through the concept of the Mazal. But Zer Anpin gets its flow from beyond Keser, the Arich. Lamayla mina Keser Darich Anpin Atzmo. So it gets from the Keser of Arich, which is called Atik here. And from this perspective, the Zer Anpin is greater than Abba and Ima. I'm not sure where the Shoresh of Zah in Keser of Arich is in relation to the concept of the Avira, but Mistama, it's lower than it. Yeah, because you have Tlas Reshin, Resha de Los Yada, Resha de Lav Resha, and so forth. Like it's explained in Shari Gan Eden. Vayin Mashikatsu Elizem is Manishin is Bor. Li'il Mizeh Parshas Yisro Be'inyan Ha'avos Hein HaMerkava. Look what's brought about this concept in Parshas Yisro, how the Avos are the concept of the Merkava, that the Avos are Chagas, and then the Merkava, that they are Mushba from the concept of Keser. Nimsa Bishor Shematzomeach Gavoa Me'achai. So it's found then that the root of the plant is higher than the animal, because it's like the difference between parts of Za and parts of Ava, and the parts of Ava. However, the inanimate is rooted higher, even than the plant life. Like we said, that it comes from Avira, Kia Osios, Shishorsham Me'avira Kanal, Asher Sham Hu Kiloi Bechinas Reshad Lois Yada, and there you go. That the letters, they're rooted in the concept of the air, that there, on that level, you have the revelation of the head that's not known. That's also higher than Keser of Arich. V'chein mashma Beitz Chaim shar Arichan pin perek beis tahamalchus shorshem reshad lois yada, and so too it's implied in Eitz Chaim shar Arichan pin that Malchus is rooted in the reshad lois yada, v'hamalchus u'bechinas domem v'dibur, and the Malchus is the concept of the inanimate and the speech. V'ayim ashakasu b'makom acher al pasuk mizmor shir chanukas habayis. Look what's brought in another place on the verse. A song of the establishment of the house of the Beis Hamikdash, Binyan Mazun Levush Bayis Chulu, where it explains the three ideas of sustenance, garment, and a house, where the garment and the house are two makifim. And then there's also to go outside, the Kippas Hashamayim. And he calls the Yuvin Inyan Asher Tziva Havaya Lemor. And from all this you can understand the concept of this is the Chukas Torah Asher Tziva Havaya Lemor, that Havaya commanded to say Shemebechinas Osios Ta'atik Nimshach Lihios Mikor Lechachma, that from the concept of the letters of Atik is drawn down to be the source of wisdom. The Chachma Nikra Amira, that's called Amira, the concept of Lemur. So the Dibur, Dibur Havaya Lemur, that's the concept of going from the letters downwards to Chachma. Shebechinas Osios Eluhim Lamayla Mea Chachma, that these letters are beyond the Chachma. Tahinu Shoresh HaOsios, that is the root of the Osios. Kamo Shehein Bebechinas Keser, as they are in the concept of Keser. Shal Shem Ze Nikra HaKeser Medaber, that for this reason Keser is called the speaker, because of these roots of these letters in that level of Keser. Malchus, only when they descend downwards to the concept of Malchus, then they become like a garment or houses for the Chachma, below the Chachma, and receptacles for it. However, as they are still included in their source, they are above the concept of Chachma in their source. Therefore it says that Havaya is commanded to say, to go to Chachma, to the Amira. That you should have a uniting, an attachment, drawing down from the concept of the letters of Shem Havaya. The Atik El Bechinas Chachma, to the concept of wisdom, Lemor. So Tziva Havaya Lemor is attached, the letters Havaya, to the Amira of Chachma. Vezeu Lemor V'hainu Alidei Mitzvahs Paraduma B'Kiddush Mechatas, and this is done through the mitzvah of the red heifer in the sanctifying of the waters of the chatas, the waters of the red heifer, shenisina sa'efer al gabe mayim chayim, that placing the ashes upon the living waters, nikra kiddush mechatas, that's called sanctifying the mechatas. Because what are these ashes? That's the elevation of the feminine waters. And it is included within it all of the feminine water from all the three concepts of the inanimate plant and animal. That the para is the chai, and is obviously going to include all those three, aside from the fact that you throw the Eitz Ezov into the Shreifas HaPara. She'apara hi chai v'nasa efer, that the para is chai and becomes the ashes. V'gam Eitz Erez ve'ezov, and also the tree of the cedar and the ezov, she'en bechinas tzomeach, which are the concepts of the plant. V'tzomeach kolol be'etzem gam kin bechinas domim, and that it also includes in it the concept of the inanimate, because they're included with each other. Within the tzomeach you have the domim, vishni solas, and then you also have the wool that's dyed purple, bechinas dibur, that the concept of the worm that's called tulas is the concept of speech, or maybe is it the tulas red? At any rate, it's the concept of speech. Shekocho befiv, that its strength is in its mouth. Nimtza hu shorsho neged bechinas medaber. So that corresponds with the concept of the speaker within this construct. Vegam b'klalus bechinas rotzav v'shov, and also in general the concept of to go back and come forth. Ulechei nikra Chukas HaTorah, and therefore it's called the statute of the Torah. Excuse me. Back up 2 lines. Ushorshu neged bechinas medaber. So the concept of the The speaker is from this concept of the worm, and also the letters of speech on their own are the concept of the inanimate. So we have the speaker, and then you have the words, and the words are the domem, while the tulas is the medber in this context. And all of this is because this action of making the red heifer and so forth, and sprinkling is the concept of going up and coming back. Chukas Torah, and therefore it's called the statute of the Torah. And therefore you make this ashes, which is this concept of going upwards. Like we said, it's the mind nukvin. From the general concepts that are of this world, of the inanimate, the plant and the animal, and so forth. To this, afterwards you draw down the supernal letters that are in the crown, to the concept of the life-giving waters, that the water is the wisdom, the chachma. So you have the halas mind nukvin of the domim samechai medaber, back to the shoresh, you put that into the water, which is the chachma, to draw down from keser and the osios into chachma. And to understand a little bit this concept of the heifer, so it's known that from the left side is the nutrients of the external, that the head of Esav is in the shroud of Yitzchak, buried together. And that's the concept of the dregs of the gold. And that is because the concept of the stringencies and the left side is a concept of a reflected light and going up and removal upwards, to be included within the infinite light. May be blessed. And this is the opposite of drawing down and revelation below. And that which is drawn from the strictness is below. It's very confined. Therefore, with many gradations and confinements, as it's drawn below, is drawn from this strictness, harsh strictnesses, and nurturance to the external. Which is not the case from the right side. That the concept and the level of the kindness on the right side, to have drawn down and a revelation of the infinite light, may be blessed. Lamata, to below, Bechinas Ohr Yashar, is not a reflected light, it's a straightforward light. Bechinas Ohr Yashar, Lechein Av, Keshenimshach Bishtal Shlus Lamata. And therefore, even as it's drawn down in a gradative process below, you cannot have from this a nurturance to the external, because this nullified state has been drawn down from above. Zohar Pekude, Dafresh Chavdal Ramud Bez. ובמה ורמז שם כי הימין חולו, אבל השמאל חולו. ומה שכתוב, פימיים רזור פרשס אחרי, דף ע"ט עמוד בייז, הביאו עלי כפרה חולו, דבגיניון איסר חולו. So in Parshas Pekudei, Ramaz talks about the right and the left side, and in Zohar Achrei it says, "Bring upon me an atonement, because from them I was awakened." It could be that's talking about the concept of the Miut Halavana. And that from what it says there, you can understand that the left side, you have a place to the nurturance of the external, perhaps like the kshafim from the nashim and the vestos. And the main thing is in the worlds of Yitzira and Asiya, that there you have these strictnesses more in division from the kindnesses. Which is not the case in the world of Bria, that you don't quite have the same division of the left side and the right side in the way they can give a nurturance. Because in Bria and Mistama, it's Rubo Tov. So from that, Mistama makes a difference between the way it is in Yitzira and Asiya, where it's half and half and Rubo Ra. Chetzio Tov and Chetzio Ra in Yitzira. The Kol Shechin Batzilus, how much more so in Atzilus, the Lo Yigur Chara Shesham Smola Iskalal Biyamina Mamash, that there the left side is included in the right side truly. Zeu Inyana Paraduma, and that's the concept of the red heifer. The Kabilas Mismola, that it says about it that it receives from the left side, Mibichinas Pnei Shur, Mea small, from the concept of the countenance of the face of the ox on the left side. Because the heifer is the concept of the feminine of Noga. That we're talking about giving a Yanika to Chitzonim, and we're going to burn that and elevate it upwards and draw down Amshacha from Hostios into Chachma, which is the concept of Chaim, of life, as opposed to the Tumas Meis. Like the Rachav says in Taimei Mitzvos, that's printed together with the Kutei Torah of the Arizal. So that it's the concept of Nukva, of Noga.